So the dark night of the soul is something that several different spiritual traditions have spoken about. That it's that moment where we call out to God. We eat, we drink, we do drugs, we have relationships, we have sex, we do all of the things that we do to feel full. I am nothing. I am nothing. That dark night of the soul is this awareness of I am nothing. If you can have the experience when it arises, it's not something you can really call on. It tends to grip us in the middle of the night, literally. So the dark night of the soul is something that several different spiritual traditions have spoken about. That it's that moment where we call out to God, where there is nothing left. It's described in different ways by different traditions, by different people. It's ultimately that moment when we realize that there is nothing that is ultimately real and true about all of that which we have told ourselves for all of the years that we have lived. That we have dedicated ourselves for all these years to a story, to an idea, to an attachment, to a drama. And we try and we try and we succeed and we get this and we get that and we attain this and we achieve over here. And nothing actually fills us. We eat, we drink, we do drugs, we have relationships, we have sex, we do all of the things that we do to feel full. Nothing fills us. And we ultimately reach a stage where we realize, I am nothing. I am nothing. That dark night of the soul is this awareness of I am nothing. All of that I've thought about myself, this whole ego structure that I've created, who I am, what I need, what I want, how things work, what I believe, none of it's true. And it's that awareness of I am nothing. And it begins, in many cases, I shouldn't speak for all, but it begins in many cases with that lowercase n of nothing, as in I am nothing, helpless, hopeless. But slowly, if you can have the experience when it arises, it's not something you can really call on. It tends to grip us in the middle of the night, literally. Or early morning. If you can allow yourself to drop with faith, the lowercase n nothing becomes a capital N nothing, which is synonymous with the capital E everything. So if you can imagine it graphically in layers, I've got this layer of here's who I am. This is my story, my role, my drama, my name, my history, my body, my race, my religion, everything I've always thought about myself. That's my upper level, sort of that superficial level you can say of selfhood. Dark night of the soul is that shatters. I realize it is all an illusion. I then feel like I have nothing. The glue that held me together no longer does. And if I can allow myself to drop with faith, it goes deeper. And it goes deeper into this experience of, yeah, I am nothing. But it's not a nothing that's an absence of something. It's a nothing that is actually one with everything. So rather than being an absence, it becomes an inseparable allness. But it requires a level of faith, because when most of us experience that lowercase n nothing, we panic. That's when it's like, oh my God, I gotta have something to drink. Right? Gotta go out, call a friend, let's go to the movies, gotta get out of here. It's when we do something to pull us out of that experience. Out of the void, it's also called. But if you can allow yourself to sink, knowing that you are being held, you actually find that you come into a very beautiful existence. But you've got to trust. This is why I talk so frequently about that trust fall into the universe. You know, so many of us in school or on corporate team building retreats do this trust fall where, right, you stand and you fall back and somebody behind you is supposed to catch you. And frequently the person behind you is a stranger. Sometimes it's a competitor, sometimes it's an enemy, sometimes it's the schoolyard bully. But we always fall back because we know they're going to catch us, even a stranger. And when we've got that kind of faith in even a stranger, what about the universe? So we trust fall into the universe of, I am nothing. Nothing. And you fall and you fall and you fall and you fall and you realize you're being held. And then you realize that that which is holding you actually isn't separable from you. And then it becomes the everything. But it's that moment where you no longer can go back to pretending that you are this story. It's like you've seen through the drama and you can't go back. You can't pretend you didn't see it. And you just surrender.